Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, as we switch over to the live feed. Welcome, everyone, to today's Fortcast. It's myself, and I bring to you the Cosign team. Welcome to them. That is Daniel, Luke, Nathan, and Jordy. Now, all of them can unmute themselves, and we can start chatting about things. Just a bigger... Just I want to chat about it quickly is unfortunately Daniel couldn't get a webcam. Unfortunately his father did not allow him to get that one. So unfortunately we will be stuck watching him at, I think that is the Liverpool stadium. I don't know where that is, what that is, but okay, there he is. Arsenal, all right, Arsenal supporter there. But again, welcome to Cosign, as they put them to themselves. But before we get into this Fortcast, I quickly want to give a big shout out to our first sponsor for the Fortcast and the Codcast, and a personal sponsor for myself. And as you can see in the bottom left hand side of your screen, that is Tint Formula. And basically what that is just like G Fuel, but a South African brand, and everyone can use it like a pre-workout basically, but it doesn't have that tingling effect of it. But Tint Formula is our first official sponsor, and if you want to know more of them, then please do so, and you can go follow them. Go to Tint Formula on Twitter. You can catch them and buy some of their product at tintformula.co.za using code Dallas. Obviously 5% off for you there. But here is one of the original flavors that you can see on your screen right now. And as you can see there was one of the original brands that you can get there. Tint Formula, you can follow them as well, as I mentioned, at all the other platforms. But let's get into the Fortcast straight away. Apologies again, it should have happened last Sunday, but we had a little bit of a hiccup on my side, so apologies for that. And again to Cosign for joining me on this one. HighPing, Syco, Drax, and Bot, welcome.
Thank you.
I think it's about time we got you guys on, and I know a lot of people have a lot of questions for you guys, and I think we're going to jump right into it. And I think we need to tell the community more about you guys as an individual. We're going to follow down the line HighPing, Syco, Drax, and Bot. Just tell me about who you are today. Tell me about who you are, Daniel, and talk us more about you personally.
Yeah, okay, so I'm HighPing, or Daniel, my real name, owner of Cosign, and I'm 16 and I'm from Cape Town. And yeah, pretty much I started this team with a bunch of guys, and we just grinding, getting better at the game, stuff like that, yeah.
All right, and Fortnite, you worked your way into Fortnite. Did you play any competitive games before that?
No, not at all. Literally, Fortnite is our first shooting game I've ever played. So I grinded FIFA a lot, back in the day, FIFA 15, 16. I'd play that every day. But Fortnite was my first actual shooting game. So yeah, nothing like that.
All right, and Syco, then for you, same question. How did things start off? Obviously, you're one of the returning members that we've had previously on the Fortcast. Quite a while ago, but again, the question to you is who you are today, because from then until now, you've joined Cosign.
Yeah, I'm 16 years of age. I come from Joburg. I was a free agent, then I joined Cosign, and how I got to where I am right now, I used to play COD, but then switched over to Fortnite, and this is where I am now.
All right, so you Call of Duty guy, and obviously the new Call of Duty coming out Friday. So obviously I'm very happy for that one to come up. But again, now to you, Drax. Nathan, tell us who you are today and more about you.
Okay, so basically I go as Drax. I'm a quote-unquote professional player for Cosign. It's just the ranking system we have in our team. But basically, I joined Cosign a long time ago, but just at the starting stages, and just been grinding with them throughout the time.
All right, and if we look at your history of gaming, anything that stands out? Where did you start? Were you a console pleb like Syco was? How did things go for you?
No, basically, early stages, I was just playing tons of CS:GO, tons and tons of CS:GO.
Okay, so you've got those hours on CS:GO. I know a lot of people in the Fortnite community has a lot of hours on CS:GO. And then to you, Bot. Firstly, please tell us why Bot. Do you consider yourself a bot? Do people call you a bot? And tell us more about you.
Yeah, I've kind of just made my name Bots because I used to be really bad at the game. All my friends are better than me at school, so they just kept calling me Bots, my friends. And then I just made my name Bots, and then I kind of stuck to it. I changed my name a lot throughout the times, but this was the name I stuck to.
And so, then your competitive background, any games you played before going to Fortnite?
I started on console, basically everyone did. I used to grind Call of Duty, BO2, BO3. Modern Warfare, all those CODs, and I consider myself good at the game, but I quit and moved to PC when my one friend convinced me to go out buy one.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's pretty much it.
Yeah, I think obviously it's a big move if you're coming from console to PC, and obviously PC is where you need to be if you want to be one of the top competitive players in South Africa or in the world actually, to be playing on that PC. Obviously, Syco, you play with a controller, so you have that beautiful L2 advantage. And speaking about controller, it's not usually that I do this, but as you can see, the bottom right hand side of your screen, we have a little goal that we're working towards. Obviously, myself, I rage quite a lot when it comes to any game I play, and my controller has basically seen its rear end. And so we're working our way to get a new SCUF controller. That's why it's at $300, because obviously SCUF controllers are extremely expensive. and normal controllers, normal controllers go to about $1,000, and then you get scuff controllers that basically go 3, 4, 5k around about there. So we have that controllers, and obviously there is shout outs to you guys that wanted to be that generous to help me towards that controller. You obviously will get a shout out, and we'll talk about more of that. But Syco, the first question comes to you if we come back to the Fortcast. And as I mentioned, the last time we spoke, it was you on your own, grinding to get into an organization or a team or a clan or whatever it may be, and now you've joined Cosign. What was the process of you joining Cosign, and why did you pick Cosign of all to join, and how did it affect you positively, negatively? How did you grow? But go through everything with us joining Cosign.
So first of all, PS4, like when you play PS4 competitive, a team or an org or a clan doesn't really want to pick you up because obviously PS4 has its disadvantages in Fortnite with FPS. So the minute I got my PC, I just started grinding, streaming, playing tournaments, and then I was playing with Daniel, which is HighPing, and then excuse me, and then he's like, yo bro, you're actually pretty decent, and then he just watched me for the last month, and then the reason why I joined Cosign is the other teams were full, so like a lot of the big orgs in South Africa weren't looking into Fortnite besides Ian, Bravado, and ATK, which they were already full. So I actually joined Cosign because I wanted to actually like grow myself a bit more in them, because obviously if you post content, you get more followers, more views. And then also a big part of like joining a team, or if you grind your way up to the certain team, like to show that you're doing well, they actually pay for your entry fees. And if you like check out how much tournaments there are, it comes up to 1,000 rand a month. So if you join a team, like even though Cos is not as big as Bravado, Energy, and ATK, they still offer you like tournament entry fees, which is a big save, like an easy extra 1,000 rand savings.
Yeah, all right. So the big question is then, obviously, if you're joining a team, it has to benefit you as much as it benefits the team. My question then to you is, joining Cosign, was there a big benefit for you as the benefit was for them?
In my terms, like I have almost like 2.5k subs on YouTube now. So by me like streaming, saying I'm in Cosign, it's actually created a lot of attention for Cosign, because people, if I say I'm Cosign, they want to be like, yo, how do I join Cosign? Then they would message me or HighPing and say, yo, can I try out for your team? And then probably negatively for me, people take Cos for a joke. Yeah. So people are like, yo, why Syco and Cos? Why didn't you wait to be picked up by a top 3 org or something like that?
Yeah, like the thing is that a lot of people forget is, and just coming back to people getting into your DMs, I just woke up this morning to a DM asking me how to join Energy Esports. So it does go around and it will never go away. But getting back to your question or to your answer, it is then, as I say, that Misfit comes in with a $1 donation there. So obviously a shout out to him as well. Thank you for helping out. But again, yes, the toxicity is there, and it has backlash to everything you have to do. But people need to remember, you have to start somewhere, and even if that somewhere is an FA, yes, from an FA you get into a team, then you get into a clan or an organization, and then you work your way up. So you have to start somewhere. And a lot of people maybe forgets that when going through these stages. They just want to join a scene and then obviously straight away jump in to the best or top orgs that you've mentioned, ATK, Ian, BVD, WRG, if they're going to get into the scene. But not a lot of work needs to go into it. And obviously from your point of view, Syco, you're a streamer, you stream almost every single day. And having more eyes on Cosign obviously has a backlash of that. But then a question to HighPing, that is the owner of Cosign, is my question to you is, why did you think it was a good idea then to start Cosign off? How did you get the idea, okay, I need to start a team and I need to start building this?
So basically, I have a close IRL friend who's one of the co-owners, and like before we had exams this one time, like earlier in this year, in June. So like we were before that even we're thinking of starting a team, but just like a clan, just for underrated people. We wanted to just find who's good in SA, get them in a team, and see what happens. Yeah, so we just like knew. We told each other one day we're gonna make a team, whatever. But it was nothing like serious. We didn't want to actually do anything with it. We just wanted to like make a team and see what happens. So then we met this other guy online. We're playing Fortnite, which is one of the other co-owners right now. And us three together, we just decided, yeah, we're just gonna make this team and see what happens. It's gonna be a clan, obviously starting off, because we're all in like high school. We don't have like money to invest in shit.
Yeah.
So yeah, so it's gonna be a clan. So we just started that off. From
Alright.
there, yeah.
Yeah, from there, and what's your goal with Cosign? Obviously, you've got content creators on your team / competitive players, like you can say Syco. Then you got other people, obviously just competitive. But what is your all-round goal with Cosign?
Basically what South African Fortnite's like right now. Like the comp scene is not very stable. Like if you think about it, like tournaments are not like smooth most of the time. Like
Yeah.
people don't play in actual practice stuff. Like the whole comp scene in SA, it's not stable at all. So we don't want to only focus on the comp scene. Yeah, we have comp players, like most of the guys here. We have pro players, we have under contracts and stuff like that. But from the beginning, or when we started taking this seriously, we never wanted that to be like our main, well, not main, obviously it's our main focus. We didn't want that to be our only focus because comp is just not the only thing that there is. So moving forward, obviously, we want to keep doing comp, we want to keep signing comp players, whatever. But what we knew from the beginning is we want to get players who are not only comp, we want to get content creators, streamers, players who are good in like creative, even though people like to clown creative, whatever.
Yeah.
I think creative is something like that can actually be used in South Africa. Because let's say we wanted some recognition from someone overseas, let's say some big person. I don't think they're gonna get excited over some like the fact that they would like watch our stuff. I don't think they get excited about something like maybe arena clips or something like that. So people who are good at creative and like actually show their skill on such HighPing, that's something we actually wanted to use. So someone like I don't know if you know the guy called Hazard or Lazarus.
Lazarus, yeah.
Yeah, so he's one of our players in our team, and the stuff he does is insane. And that's the type of players we also want in our team, players who are going to bring something new and not just comp players.
Yeah, and,
So,
and I think obviously with the content, I'm a big follower of Optic Hex, or not Optic anymore. It's NRG Hex now. But I'm a big follower of him and how he runs things, and he always says that content is key, and I think that's maybe where Cosign is leading in one of those aspects. With the videos they get out, obviously you have Syco, and then that team that Don just started off. That team's name is what?
Anarchy.
Anarchy. And Anarchy is back. I think they've been in the scene or was in the scene
Yeah, for
at
long.
once.
I think it's like more than a year.
Yeah, more than a year ago, and now they're back, and you can see they grind on content. Don himself, I think Luca is one of the other guys. So content is definitely key, and it brings the eyes on the organization. But also a thing that can happen is, yes, you get more eyes on your team, and then a lot of backlash can happen, but also a lot of good things can happen. It all depends on how you manage that. And then the question always starts with everyone on Twitter, and I know everyone in the stream wants to know this. And Daniel, this is again to you: is Cosign a clan, an organization? Obviously, that's the two that people always go against.
Yeah.
Is it a clan? Is it an organization? What makes it an organization? What makes it a clan? But from you, I want to know, what is Cosign?
Yeah, that question, I think we're kind of a mix of both right now, because like officially, like to be an organization, you have to be registered or whatever. So officially wise, we're not an organization. We're not going to sit here and say we're an official organization, because we're not. But with the stuff we're doing, like a clan, when you think of the word clan, it's more like a group of friends who play the game. Like maybe you guys are good or whatever, but it leans more to you're a group of friends. Just got a couple of guys and you play together and you call yourself a clan. You guys put whatever in your name or stuff like that. So definitely that's what Cosign started out as. It was just a couple of friends. We made a team. None of us were like the best in SA or anything like that. We just like wanted to make a team. It was just a group of friends. But since then, I think Cosign has changed a lot. It's become become well run, like much better.
Yeah.
And the stuff that we do kind of leans more towards org, like than a clan. Obviously, we have factors of clans. Not all our players are under contracts and stuff like that. But yeah. So right now we do have sponsors. We do have people under contracts, and they're getting their tournaments paid for. So stuff like that, I'd say we lean more to org, but also other factors as well, like a clan. So I'd say you could say we're a team, like not a clan, not an org, but like a team. So yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
All right. So, and I think earlier this week or even yesterday, you guys announced one of your first sponsors. Maybe run through me that as well.
The sponsor. Yeah. So they're business growing association, and they just are going to be working with us, just becoming an org, stuff to do with that, and they're going to be funding us going forward. So for like tournaments, and we've got merch coming soon, which is going to be big. Some people have seen the designs, so yeah, they're just going to be helping us through that.
All right, so big things to come for Cosign. And before we get further, again, just a message again from Tinfer Formula, one of our sponsors for the Fortcast, the Codcast, and my personal sponsor, one of South African's very own home brand, just like G Fuel is overseas. We can't get that in South Africa, so we have a brand of our own called Tint Formula, and here is just one of their videos, yet again a different flavor. We saw the original with no sugar, obviously the no sugar for people like me, a bit overweight, so we want to cut off on that, but here is one of the other videos. Together. Right, and back we go. We're going to keep this rolling. And then to Nathan, a question coming in from you, or for you, is looking back at Cosign earlier, you had a incredible ton of RCs that came in for Cosign. And my question then to you is this the way you guys measure your team as a whole? Yes, we have 200 RCs that came in. How successful does this make us? Do you guys look at people? Obviously, if they sign up in the RCs, you can't take all 200 people. But the question is then, what do you guys look in RCs, their mechanics, the player that they are? Because sometimes with the RCs, you don't really have to do with the person like we are now talking to each other. So this guy could be an incredible dick to everyone, but and obviously you don't want someone on that team. But how do you guys measure your RCs when they send them in?
Also, basically, like the first impression is if you see if they're mechanically skilled, if they're really good at the game, then Danny or Syco, not this Syco, another Syco, the recruiter, he will do a trial with them, get to know them, see if they like a genuine person, because we're not just, even if they're incredible at the game, we're not just going to sound a complete dickhead.
Yeah.
So.
And then when they, obviously I was in one of the videos, or one of the streams that you guys hosted, and you watched through people's RCs and the videos that they sent in. How is that the way you guys go into recruiting people, or is there different ways?
Well, basically that's like one of the main ways to get recognized. But like if we see you like constantly placing in tournaments, like these solo tournaments that have just happened over these past couple months, if you're consistently placing well, then we obviously have to check you out as well.
So if I was one person, if I'm taking someone from the chat, Jelly Body, I see he's in the chat. So now that he wants to maybe join Cosign, what is his steps on taking to join Cosign?
So basically, at the start, we would probably tell them to make an RC first, or if we recognize them placing well, then we could take it further on from there.
All right, so placing well, getting your name out there, message you guys or not message you guys?
Well, I mean, you can like Discord message one of us to like say, can you please check out this, just to get our attention. Because otherwise, like going through all these RCs, it's like there's so many. It's just.
Can I also touch on the question?
Yeah.
Okay, so what I think is RCs are kind of like if you look at the big teams like Evade and all, like they have RCs, but they're not really gonna pick up a lot of players from RCs. I feel like it's just to create hype around the team and like get clout for the team and stuff like that, and just to see like which players are really keen to join the team. And then once you get the list like narrowed down, you can kind of look at who's actually good at the game, who places in tourneys and everything like that,
Yeah,
So,
yeah, indeed.
Yeah, I'd also like to say something about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, so with the RCs, like there are lots of players who can't play in tournaments, like just don't have the money, don't have the time, or whatever, something like that. So RCs, like the main way we picked up so many players that no one knows about, if they're starting to like play in tournaments, starting to do well. People like Drax, people like Bot, mainly is through like videos, not through placement, because not everyone can play in tournaments, as I said. So stuff like RCs is the way that we see underrated players, people who no one knows about. And obviously we're not going to pick everyone up through RCs, but because there's so many or whatever. But we see, let's say we're looking through RCs, we see one guy who's just like insane, he's really good and no one knows about him. Then we'll take that further, we'll play with them, whatever, something like that. But yeah.
And then this question then goes to Geordie. The question states is, why do you guys think you have such a backlash or such a negative outlook on Cosign? Is there something that happened? Is there something that triggered it? What do you think influenced people's opinion to have a negative outlook on Cosign?
Well, I mean, I didn't really experience all the backlash because I kind of joined. I'm not like one of the OG players in the team, like Lag and Drax and Syco. Like they kind of old team, like they've been in a while. So I would rather ask them for this question. But from my experience in the team, when I joined, it was kind of bad. Everyone was like making fun of me, like, "Oh, Cosign bot," and like I always get called Cosign bot, so, like as if like emphasis on the Cosign in a bad way. But I kind of just ignored it, and like over the past few weeks, it's actually been kind of nice. People have been nice to me in the DMs. People have been like calling me, wanting to play with me, so it's been cool. Like I haven't seen much backlash lately.
All right, Drax, and same question to you. Have you been one of the starting members in Cosign? What do you think influenced people's opinion to have a negative backlash?
Well, at the start, I'm actually not sure why people just started hating on us. Because Cloud said we were trying to grind for clout, which is, in my opinion, what you want to grind for. But I mean, I don't know, because it's just we didn't say anything wrong. We didn't try to be, swag to anyone. I don't know why they just wanted to hate on us, but
What does swag mean?
Is what it is.
Psycho, come on. Okay, all right, but again, if I come to you on that question, is okay. You may be the most vocal guy when it comes to Twitter. I always see you reply on people that give you negative stuff. Like if they're saying you shit or Cosign is shit or stuff like that, you're always the one to reply. Don't you think it's sometimes just better to say nothing?
Yeah, I don't know. I do get a lot of stuff on Twitter, and most of the time, at the beginning, I'd like get really mad because I just like, I don't know, I'd respond to everything. People were just talking stuff, and I just say something back because I don't like keeping quiet because it's just a bunch of people on the internet. I can't take them seriously, so I just say something back. But yeah, I think I'm starting to try not to do that, just to let them say what they say. And going back to what you said about the negative outlook, it started like from the beginning. Yeah, there's people saying, "Oh, you use like cocky titles or some shit, stuff like that." But it started like even before we did that kind of stuff. We just had this, we literally show videos, and this whole community would just go, "Oh, clan," or "choke." I think it's just the idea of a clan in South Africa. It's the same, not even in South Africa also. Like there was this clan called Team Evade, obviously before that was called Chronic, before they rebranded. And they just got a lot of hate like from the whole pro community because they just pretty much the same what we get. Like no one took them seriously. They were starting to like get sponsors and stuff like that. But the whole pro community didn't like respect them as a team because they were like kind of a clan and stuff like that. So I think it's just this idea of clans that don't get respect. Yeah,
and I just want to mention something that I saw in the chat that came from Chambi, saying there's a slight difference between wanting clout and wanting recognition. And I think that's a very smart thing, obviously, from him to say, is there's a difference between wanting your clout and wanting recognition. And obviously, if I'm just saying, I'm thinking that Cosign obviously wants the recognition of having people that put out content daily, and people that is placing in the top 10, 5, or whatever it might be. But we'll talk more about placing as the stream goes on. But enough about Cosign. Let's talk about Fortnite. And a lot of people, you obviously want to hear the opinions of everyone. Season 11 has started, and already a lot of people saying negative this and negative that. My question to you guys is, just give me a straight opinion on season 11, Syco.
Dog shit.
Dog shit. So straight and simple.
Whoa.
Obviously, you played in the tournament that just took place today. But just leaving the tournament out to the side, is why do you say dog shit?
I don't know. Like, I can put my frames on 240, and I legit feel like I'm on console. I think if I had my PlayStation still now, I'd probably play on my PS4. It's just, I don't know, the game. It's obviously a new chapter 2, season 1. So there's no mobility. Like, it's legit if you're on the farm map. Like, today, all my zones were from Weeping Woods all the way to Frenzy Farm. Also, the stats is like 1 minute I'm in a boat fight, the next minute I just dropped to like 30 frames. So, I don't know. Fortnite needs to come up with a performance update. And
to you, Jordy?
To be honest, I'm completely the opposite. Like, I'm having the time of my life. I found like a good job. Just got like a new squad 2 days ago. It's like a really good squad. Has a lot of potential. Been practicing a lot. And like arena's fun. I don't know. I feel like mobility. I mean, it is an issue, obviously, but I feel like it kind of lets players of different skill types get better at the game and place better. So like, say someone knows, okay, someone doesn't have a shockwave, and he's on edge, he's dead. Like, his tournament's over. But now it's like shockwaves aren't in the game. Like, it's how is he gonna play that out? Like, everyone, it's just basically, I think it's more thinking now, and it is. I feel like it's the same RNG, but people just need to get used to it and adapt. It hasn't even been a week of it, so people are expressing their opinions too early, I think.
Yeah, I agree 100% with you. Drax, do you agree with him?
Somewhat, but like squads, I find it's okay. It's not as bad because just all the mats that you have combined, you can rotate with that. But then solos is just a nightmare. I can't play solos right now because of the rotation. Also like pumps, which was the main meta. It's super rare to find like a golden or purple pump, which is like the equivalent to a green or blue pump, whatever.
Yeah.
So just also the FPS drops that are happening is just, yeah.
I also wanted to say that I don't know why, but zone is always top left of the map. I don't know why. Like, I've been grinding arena, grinding scrims, grinding customs, and I've noticed zone's always top left. I don't know why. And it's so bad for my job because I land bottom right. If anyone wants to come give me a free 50 part, you can. But I just wanted to say, like, it's bad. It's always top left.
But for me, like, the one good aspect of Season 11 is the loot pool. Like, we have so much shotguns. So, like, we have a tac pump, the tac shotgun, and that other pump from, like, a few seasons ago.
Yeah.
So, like, you get different variants. You get gray, blue, green. So, there's actually a pretty good loot pool. So, that's the only positive thing I can say.
And then same to you, HighPing. Do you like it thus far? What's your opinion on Season 11?
I'm going to be honest. I haven't played like comp or anything like that because I've just been grinding. Like, I don't know. I don't even play during the week, and when I do play, I just like hop in creative.
I actually want to ask you, now that we're talking about squads, and getting back to Cosign, is Cosign then looking for a total in-team squad, or are you going to have a squad of 2 players in Cosign and 2 players outside?
What I wanted was before this we had 3 players under contract who were getting the tournament paid for, so 3 pro players. What I first wanted was to like get them in a squad together and get like maybe one of the comp players like Bart or something like that. But players have found their own squads. We don't wanna. They found duos who they're good with. They found players who they're good with. So I don't really mind. They can play with, as long as it's like at least they're representing Cosign. I feel like so.
Yeah.
Will be fine. But then the question comes if two of the Cosign players team with a player that's already in an organization, you can't put yourself out there as the Cosign team because obviously you're going to be affecting the other guy. So it's also another thing to be looking at, and I know a lot of teams forget about that on who they want to play with and who they want to pick up with. But I'm going to leave that. And Jordy, you mentioned our next topic, the mobility in season 11 is, I'm going to use Syco's words here, dog shit. And you literally can't get across. The only thing you have is a boat that can go on water and literally walking pace on land. How do you think that influences on how people play now in season 11?
For me in the tournament today, like as soon as I saw zone, I just ran like as fast as I could to zone, middle zone like instantly, so I don't have to worry about the next zone, a short rotation. And then, I mean, early game rotations is kind of bad because no launches. If you get into an early game fight, you're gonna take zone damage. But I guess fish are in the game, so that's kind of okay. You can fish real fast. Yeah, that's pretty much it. End game, I feel like height's kind of more OP now because I mean, the rotation on heights is so easy. And low ground is impossible, especially if you're on edge. If zone's on the opposite side on Storm Surge, you're kind of dead. But yeah, I'm still waiting like a week to see what's happening, and I don't really have a final answer to that.
And then Nathan, if Fortnite is looking at bringing something back in the mobility side of things, what thing do you think they should add? And if there's multiple things, share with us what you think they should add.
For first off, like mobility, I feel like shockwaves, like they were kind of balanced, but also not at the same time. But also, if they like make up a new mobility item that they can bring to the game, could also be really good. Like shadows, when they got introduced, they were really good. So maybe they could do something like that.
I was thinking I'm gonna give my idea to you guys in a chat, and you guys in Cosign can then obviously tell me yes, no, that's wrong. I don't think that would work. But I was thinking if you obviously when Fortnite wasn't at their good stages, a lot of us went to go play Minecraft, and we enjoyed it quite a lot. Obviously, me being a boer, I like farming, so why not? But I was thinking, if there's one thing that maybe Fortnite can take away from Minecraft is in a mobility side of things, is when they throw that pebble thing or what ender eye or I don't know what you call it, but like a teleportation thing. You're throwing it, and wherever it drops, you teleport to. And obviously, it's gonna have a backlash on how far you can throw the thing and the ender pearl. There we go. I can see in the chat. But don't you guys think something like that as a new thing would be quite nice? As a like obviously if someone's shooting you in combat, you maybe can't use it, or maybe what's your guys' opinion on maybe using an ender pearl, something like that?
I feel like for rotation, that there shouldn't really be an instant rotation item. I feel like there should always be an opportunity for players to like lazy while you're rotating, or it's kind of unfair. Then it's like really RNG if you get that item. It's kind of GG. Just chuck it down a mountain, teleport to the bottom. Like instead of gliding down, you can get lasered by the whole lobby. But
obviously it goes back and forth. Like if you have an ender pearl, you can't throw it on top of something. It has to touch ground. So
obviously
so you can't take like taking height is not going to be a thing. Or I'm just thinking outside of the box is something new. Syco, do you think there's something new that they maybe can add other than my idea now that I think is 2 billion IQ?
I'm gonna subtweet Trogan's, like I saw it from his tweet, but I've been watching a lot of like the overseas. They've been doing squad customs, and what Trogan said, which I saw with Tifa and them happening, is that if you check the EU and the NA, like squads right now with the no mobility is actually working, but for my personal like the boats, I don't mind them. It's just for me like it's another hard thing to get off. Also you can't hear because it's so loud. But for me, I got 2 keyboard and mouse players that are just gonna tunnel for me, and then I can also swim like a dolphin. So I'm chilling.
Yeah, so I just think the big thing is we need some mobility back in the game, just to change things up. Because I don't know about you guys, but I feel like the map is 10 times bigger, and you have to
Yeah.
run extremely fucking far to get anywhere. And
Mm.
there's no way quicker than to get it than fucking swimming and driving a boat, or I don't know. There's some zip lines, but the zip lines don't even make sense because some of them even take you off the map. Like
Yeah.
I don't know. So a lot of things to take in or change in the mobility side of things. And then a question that I want to come to is on the state of our competitive scene on Mega Gaming, on Elite Pro Series, on tournament organizers, and the customs. Our customs are completely dead. I don't know why. It's a
Yo,
new
dead.
season.
Dead.
It's a new season. People must be playing. And obviously, the biggest thing for us now to look at is squads. Um, and when we did host that one squad, we had a maximum of 30 people. Is that maybe because like people still looking for a team to play in? But I'm just putting the message out there that if Mega Gaming or any TOs is listening and there's customs out there, because I know Mega Gaming hosts or did host between 6 and 9 every single week, but that also has taken a bit of a back step leading into this new season. Um, do you guys think we should maybe focus more now on customs than anything? Obviously, we have so much solos. It's driving me crazy with the amount of solo tournaments we have. But don't you guys think, HighPing, that we must just focus a bit on squads more?
Yeah, also going back to the MG thing and people not playing, I remember when they first introduced the schedule, like the first night that they said they like hyped it up and everything, they promoted it everywhere. They said, "Oh, at these times we're gonna be doing it," and it was like a big deal, and everyone was like, "Okay, this is gonna be a constant thing. We're gonna play in this every night. They're gonna announce whoever wins the most, and that's gonna get them recognition or whatever." So I think something like that people are excited for, and like the first games they were stacked. So I think from then they just kind of stopped doing that. Like they just started hosting randomly. Hosts didn't host when they were meant to. Stuff like that. I obviously don't know like what happens. It's like,
Can I say something?
Yeah, go for it.
In terms of like customs and tournaments, there's a server which Woke started last night, which is like going to be really big. I think it's called the ZA Prac Chord. At the moment, it's invite only. I'm pretty sure everyone here is on the chord except for Daniel. But it's like basically Storm Surge since Titan has been useless lately, not hosting any practice tournaments, and the customs have been dead or anything.
Sure.
I think that so they basically host like pro customs, like
Yeah.
they try to get Storm Surge, like a lot of people. It's been growing. We got like 30, 40 players at most last night, which is pretty good because you're hosting at like 10 p.m. and the Discord only started like an hour before we hosted, so it is pretty good, I
Yeah,
think.
but my question now comes again. Now we have a clash between that Discord and we have MG
Yeah,
that's also running customs that they want to get back into. Now they need to split things up. My thing is we see MG casual and MG pro or has now mixed together to form one to get more players playing, but now you've got the quote unquote bots in the competitive side of things. My question is just why don't we just put solos aside? There's no more solos. Solos are over. I don't know why you're still playing solos. Solos are over. There's no tournaments for solos that I think is announced from now to somewhere that we're playing. Why don't we just firmly focus on squads and say it's squads or you basically playing nothing?
I can say one thing.
Okay, say Syco.
If you check like our big streamers like Don when he does that stream for skin on a Sunday, I think on Saturday he had 850 viewers.
Yeah.
And now those lobbies he literally put the code in and we got 100 players immediately. But my problem is in MG we have like 15 custom hosts. So I feel like there are too much hosts right now at the moment. And I would feel like if we can try persuade Don. You see, but in my opinion in South Africa we really have a small competitive scene. It's mainly like casual players. So if Don had to try and get those casual players to come into our Discord and try out the competitive scene, maybe something would work. But I just feel like Mega Gaming or some, like we need one big Discord for everyone. We can't just like split the Discord's up.
Yeah.
And that's a big thing that's come down for me. And if TOs are listening, basically fuck solos and fuck anything else you want to do, and just try and focus on squads, because that is the main thing. And the 1st of November, that's around the corner. It is where Epic is starting their day or weekly or what we had in-game events, and that's going to be squads, and we already know that. So let's focus on it and try and get something going. And back to where Bot mentioned, or Jordy mentioned, the different Discord. If by all means they get a lot of people in there, then I think it's time that MG is then going to decide, okay, let's merge, or not merge, but say let's work together on organizing a custom. But again, a lot of people has custom keys now. A lot of people can host their own thing, and then someone will host at the same time. But I think it's us then at the community that must say, okay, listen here, Daniel, if he's the guy's hosting, please stop hosting. You drawing attention to you. Join our server and rather play with us. I just think we try and just do things on our own for our own recognition.
Yeah, can I say something?
Yeah.
So what was I gonna say? Yeah, so the pro community or comp community, should we say, it's so small, and that's where, like, relating back to Cosign, I'm not gonna mention what TO it is, but we want to try get, like, because we have a lot of grinders who just don't play comp, and we know that comp is not stacked at all most of the time. So we're gonna try partner. We've got the partnership. We're not gonna announce it though. With one of the TOs to just get, like, players who don't normally do comp, to get them to stop playing comp, because there's so many, like, not casual, but like guys who upload videos on YouTube, just that type of stuff, and none of them play the comp. So yeah, we're partnering with guys. The one TO, I'm not gonna mention who it is yet.
So basically, what we're saying, if you're a TO, listen to the community, please. Fuck solos, get squads, and let's get it grinding. And MG, if their guys are here, let's get the customs going. But another thing is, we can't get the customs going, but we only get 30 people. Then we can just as well go play pubs. So it's up to the community and the TO at the same time to get something going and get practice in, because obviously squads is the next thing. Then we did speak about MG now getting their casual players with the pro players, just obviously to get more people playing, and I think it's a good idea. I hope we get more comp players, because I can imagine the comp player saying, if he doesn't get in and the lobby is filled and it goes to 101 and you're that one guy that doesn't get in, you're going to lose your mind. But that's one thing we need to do to get everyone involved, and maybe that casual player turns into a great comp player, so you never know. Then the next question is the rocket of the boat. We did speak about the boat and what influence it has now to the mobility, that there is almost none. But then I asked a lot of people in Discord, give me some questions that we can speak about on the Fortcast, and one thing they did mention is the rocket. Now, the rocket was more or less like the mech had. It's only one, and it's quite OP if you want to take something out. Do you guys think, Syco, that maybe this rocket of the boat will influence anything in the competitive scene?
In my opinion, I used it once and I was like, what the hell is this? What's the point of this? Like, legit, I don't know, I've never, like, actually shot it if there's, like, a team boxing up. But in my opinion, I found that thing very useless. I feel like there should rather be, like, a LMG, like, bringing back that old LMG that had 100 bullets. And I put that on the side.
Can I say, I don't think anyone knows about this, though, but if you stand on a certain part of the boat and you shoot it, you can actually rocket around the guy super fast. Insane.
What's all this chat?
That's intel. Chat, intel. There we go. That's the mobility you needed. Fortnite gave you mobility. There it is.
And also, if you guys didn't know, you can actually fit a boat in a 1x1 box. So if you want to keep that for in game, you can keep your boats boosted, rocket a box, like, get in one pump with a gold pump.
I don't know why you called yourself bot if you got the brain there. 2000 IQ.
Well, what's that thing in America where it can go on water and land?
Hoverboard.
What?
Well, I don't know. It, like, has the big fan at the back.
Yeah, it's the hoverboard.
Maybe they should do that.
Oh
Like,
yeah, that'd be sick.
on land, it like takes it like water wheels out. And
Yeah. Well, that's something to look at. So you're basically saying the rocket doesn't have too much influence. I haven't seen a lot of people use it yet, but we're so early in the stages of season 11 that we don't know really what is going to go and what's going to stay. And then quickly to Drax, we're coming. This is the second last question before we get to the community questions. Drax, then earlier this month, a month ago or 2 months ago, they changed the way arena you get points, and now it is skill based matchmaking. A big word for a boertjie, but it's now implemented and it's all about skills, and you play against people that is more or less your skill. Do you think it's going to be more difficult now for South Africans to get into the Champions Division?
I do actually, because if you're coming up against like a 0-ping player, he's 100% going to take your wall every time. So you're just going to keep trying to like dodge it, but then most of the time he's going to catch you out somewhere when you're trying to heal or something, and he'll get the edit on you, and then like in 2 seconds you're dead.
But correct me if I'm wrong. But you do need champions to play in like the in-game events, correct?
Yeah,
Some
you
of
do.
them,
Yeah.
Some of them.
Yeah.
Some
Most
of
of
them.
them.
Okay, but the main
Most- yeah,
ones you need
most of them.
champions.
Fortnite Champions shows you need Champions League.
All right, so I know a lot of people are already grinding for champions, and it is incredibly difficult now to get champions. You need to be very good, obviously, and I think most of you guys are. But the grind is there, and it's going to be way more difficult to play that. Yeah.
I don't know, like just for me, like sometimes I want to play arena, and then sometimes I just want to chill in solos. And like solos, some people actually go for content, and I just feel like when you just want to play solos, there's no mass, no siphon, and now you're getting like you're literally playing arena, but the opposite. Whereas I felt like this season I'm already on like 2,500 points, but
Yeah.
it's so hard to get points right now at the moment.
Is it easier to play solos or with a team to rack up points?
I say solos because squads I think kills only 5 points,
Yeah.
and so my bus fare is I think already -40, or I don't know what it is. So you have to get like 8 kills just to get your bus fare back.
Now the question is, if we put customs aside, do you guys think, obviously there is squad arena to go play, but do you guys think that's also a good practice if you're starting up your team now and there isn't customs? Is that maybe something you guys would use as practice?
Okay, I'll answer this question. So basically, you could, like, if there's no customs, it's like customs are obviously like I would rather play customs, SA customs, because it's more fair. But playing against people with better ping, like, it gets your game more aware. Like, you don't make as many mistakes. You don't try to just like push people out of nowhere because you know you can take the wall. I think it just makes your game more aware.
Yeah, like obviously if you come across a 0-ping player, you're gonna know he's taking your wall, then you're gonna die and you're not gonna survive. And then obviously you don't get too much practice and your rotation on things. I just think when it goes comes to arena squads, it's a good learning curve to take on rotation to the next zone, on how you're gonna rotate there, how quick you're gonna rotate, what's everyone they're gonna be carrying in their inventory, and a lot to think about when we get into that. But again, we spoke about this last week or the week before, and that is prize pool layouts, and we're going to spend quite a lot of time now on this. And I want to know from everyone in the chat, give me your opinion on the prize pool layout. Now, for me personally, I think if you have a 30,000 or 20,000 rand prize pool, I think personally you should get compensation for winning maps. Now, I know some tournament organizers pay players $500 if you win a game. Fine, I think that's perfectly fine. But I don't think that you should get money if you place top 5. Now, top 10. Sorry, top 10.
Yeah, I agree.
I don't think top 10 is viable because you're basically telling someone, listen here, you came 10th place, you're still shit, but here's money. I think that's dumb. It's like giving obviously I'm going to use a school reference because I'm a teacher. You got an F, but here's also a high five. Cool, nice, well done. I don't think that's the way we should go. I think top 5 is the best way to go, because obviously top 5 is an achievement on its own. Coming top 10 is like not really, no. So top 5 for me, yes, first, second, third, fourth, fifth. Place out your money the way I think is fine. But still, 10 people out of 100, I still don't think that's good enough. Just because where our scene is, we don't have like 50 brilliant people in the scene that's fighting for first. That's not the case. But I don't think, obviously, that's just my opinion. But I don't think top 10. I think top 5. And if tournament organizers want to say, okay, top 5, then from 5th to 10th, just give them the entry back. That's it.
In my opinion, if you check Fortnite, like the Fortnite World Cup, top, I think 8 were like big money. But like if you came 99th, you got 800,000 rand. So like, but obviously Fortnite's a big like tier and they got a lot of money. But in my opinion, like for solos, top 10. So I feel like top 4 should have big prize pools, and 5 to 10 should just have like 200 to 300 rand. Because that's what keeps people playing. Like let's say I'm in 12th with 10 points, and the next top 5 is on 16. I still want to play to know that I can still get some money top 10.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to go with Dallas with the top 5 and
yeah, same.
Money for the win. I think that's perfect. Top 5 it's 5 people. That's not like 3. It's 5. You can get money, and you get money for the win. So I think that's perfect. Top 10, like if you come 10th place, yeah, it's out of 100. Most of the time the tournament's not even stacked. So like 10th out of 50.
Yeah.
Like what the hell? But yeah, so I think top 5 and a money for win, 500 rand for win. That's good. Like if you can get a win, that's you deserve the money. But like if you come 10th, I don't think you should be getting like 500 rand or whatever.
I saw Bojo XT said Fortnite World Cup was top 20. Actually, it was everyone got $50,000.
Yeah.
Like even if you came last. But I think we can't have a top 20 prize pool because the prize pools are way too small. Say we had like a 1 million rand prize pool for a tournament, then obviously we can do like then we can do a top 20 like prize pool, but we can't do a prize pool with like 10,000 rand for 20 people. And first place is gonna get like hardly anything.
But the problem with us, I think right now, is like let's say Ace Gaming announces a tournament in 2 weeks from now. The problem is I feel like let's say it's 250 rand. I feel like the 250 entry is quite high.
Yeah,
people don't have that money to enter, and that's why like you always see energy provider 80k in the tournaments because they're obviously paid. But then you get people out there who want to try and prove themselves, but they actually don't have the money.
My question is that now that you brought that up, you can go on now again, Jordy. But if just that you mentioned that, yes, it's a lot, $250. But say now you make a top 10, and from 5th place to 10th place gets their 250 back. Is that maybe something that people will say, okay, it's worth entering?
I don't know. It depends. Oh, is this me or is like?
No, go.
Oh, is it me? Oh, I think if you're gonna play a tournament for like actual practice, or if you really just want to like get the money, then I mean, if people are getting the entry fee back from like coming say like 15th or like 10th or something, I feel like they're not really gonna care. Even if they just win like 100 rand, they're not really gonna. Actually, if they just win 100 rand, like I would be happy with just winning like 100 rand. For coming like 10th, like I'll be okay with that. But yeah, if you want to do it for practice, it'll be nice getting your entry fee back. If you want to play a tournament there.
Let's work around the prize pool. What do you guys think is the perfect amount to enter a Fortnite tournament?
150. That's 150 max.
Check it School Cup, like School Cup, it's 100 rand per qualifier.
Yeah, but okay, well, now that you say School Cup, remember School Cup has a sponsorship for prize pools, so there's a big difference. They have 80,000 rand. That 40 of that 80 is gonna go to a school, wherever you go to school to. So obviously there's a sponsorship there, but I do think 250 is too much. I think 150 to 200 is the perfect.
Yeah, most of the chatters agree.
Yeah, it's the perfect way or perfect amount of money to go into a tournament. But you guys must remember, the lower we make the entry, the lower the less the prize pool is gonna be. So you must just remember, and now being squads. Remember, if you're saying top 5 to squads now, so that's 5 times 4. Okay, and if you have quick maths, all right, that's quite a hefty bunch of people to pay out money now.
Yeah.
So
I
now you're
wouldn't say top
answering.
5 for squads.
Yeah,
Yeah.
now
Top
you're
3 for
thinking
squads.
250 rand per person, and there's 4 people in a team. All right, that's 1k per team. Now you want to fill up the lobby. So you guys going to be looking at a huge amount of money that you're going to put in,
20,000.
but you're not even going to get your money back if you're placing top 5.
In my opinion, squads, there's always going to be top 6 squads. There's always going to be the top 6. So you'll have your 80k, Bravado, Energy, Clips, Good Gaming, Cos.
Yeah.
And then you'll get like that 1, 2, 3 teams that are not in the org that are just like good players, like Woke, Letzler. So in my opinion, there's always going to be a top 8 battle. There's never going to be like, oh wow, look at these gens won. It's always going to be those top 8 teams.
Yeah, indeed. So, and just before you say anything, a huge thanks to Chubbs. Is it Chubbsy? Oh, I'm going to say that's that. With a $50 donation. And to you, I say thank you very, very much. And to everyone in stream, if you haven't checked the bottom right hand side of your screen, you can see I'm grinding for that new controller. And obviously, I don't play on keyboard and mouse. And any money towards a new controller for me would be much appreciated. A scuff is incredibly expensive, and the thing breaks within 3 months. So the Syco would know all about that too. And obviously I play a lot of Call of Duty as well. And I'm a Burki, and I do rage a lot when it comes to playing FIFA. So a lot of shit of mine has broken. But again, to Chubsy, thank you very much for that donation. I appreciate it a lot.
Chubbs is like Mr. Beast of South Africa. He's donated, I think, over to
Yeah.
like 200,000 rand to every single streamer out there.
Yeah, it's insane.
Thank you very much. Appreciate you. We're gonna leave the prize pool chatter there for another day, but I do think solos top 10 is a no for me. Top 5 perfect. When it comes
Top
to
3 for squads.
when it comes to squads, top 3, because you're already paying out 4 people per team. So you must remember on the amount of entries and wada. All right. Before we get to the community questions, just again a message from Tint Film Formula. Again, if you've just joined us, Tint Formula is the official sponsor of the Fortcast, the podcast, and my personal sponsor. They basically, just as G Fuel is overseas, we can't get G Fuel into South Africa, so we have our own brand called Tint Formula, and here is one of their videos on one of their products. As you can see there with Tint Formula, the Lush Orange, one of the flavors. So we saw Lush Orange, Cherry Blast, and the original. A lot of them has no sugar for the big bone people like I am. Don't want the sugar. But leading into the community questions now, question number 1 is from Chaos Super Mani. Says, so other than the prize pool that we just spoke about, what is everyone's thought on requeuing for kids that don't get into paid tournaments? Yes, people don't get into tournaments. And then the other question to follow is then, do they requeue every time, or what do you guys think should the compensation points be? Let's just break down that question, because there's quite a lot of them in there. Is what do you guys what's your thoughts on requeuing in a paid tournament?
This happened to me 80k tournament, the last one for season 10. Neymar and I's power cut out, and they gave us 3 compensation points. Now if you check Neymar, one of like, or probably one of the best players in South Africa, he gets like 8-9 points per game, and now he's like, okay, yo, sorry, I don't get in. Now that's 3 points. That costed him actually placing between 1st and 3rd.
Yeah.
So I feel like if you don't get into a game, they should take your points from all 4 games, or let's say there's 6 games. Let's say you don't make it in game 6, take 5 games and divide it and check what your average is, and you should get those average points.
Yeah, I agree. Just like sometimes they do it stupidly. Like 2 guys don't get into the game. Like obviously most of the time they want to make it only if like 5 guys plus don't get in. But people get mad a lot of the time. There was this one Ace Gaming tournament, like the first one back in the day that all the Cosign boys played in.
Yeah.
And the tournament took like 9 hours altogether. Just a lot of problems, taking a long time playing the game, and also like requeuing. So just I think requeuing only should happen 5 people, unless if there's 3 people, just give them the average points. I think that's fair,
Now,
but not just
you've
constant requeuing.
yeah, you've mentioned that average points now. Now, let's say I'm in the position of first, and you're taking my average points, and then I know for a fact the guy in second won't catch me. I'm just gonna say I didn't get in, and get the average points of, let's say my average points is 10. I get 10 points, and the guy from second is already 10 points from me. So now I'm 20 points ahead of him, and I'm not even joining a game. So don't you think maybe the average point thing is a bit too much?
Well, I feel like
I think you can check and replay if.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think proof.
I feel like that's a bit scummy, but
Yeah, but you
Yeah,
have
it is.
you're gonna have them.
yeah,
You will have people.
yeah, you will have people like that.
Yeah,
But-
moles, yo.
Also, what Syco said, you can look and replay, see like if you just see he like actually didn't get into the game, try get into the game at all. So
Yeah.
from
It's
there,
just
I
based around
guess-
trust. It's based around
Yeah,
trust.
yeah.
So proof.
And we have such a small community that you can't be doing this type of stuff.
Yeah.
We need to have trust between all our players because there's so little people. So if you're gonna just be doing that, it's just hurting the whole community.
So proof, it needs to be sent. You need to show that you actually didn't get into the game and stuff like that. And then the compensation points needs to be that of that's actually not worth for a player to get to stay out of a game. But then moving to question number 2 comes from Bojo, saying, what is your plan for the future of Cosign? And this one obviously goes to HighPing. What is the plans of Cosign going into the future?
We kind of touched on earlier, but not really. Just going forward, we want to obviously make the transition to an org. That's something we obviously want to do, which we will be doing soon with our latest sponsorship. We're going to be working with them,
Yeah.
getting all of that stuff done. But yeah, just making that first, focusing on our comp, also getting other comp players into the team. And having that out of the way, we also want to focus also on the content and getting players who we know can just, if we get the opportunity to get recognition from. Because I think the SA community and SA players with such high ping and seeing how good they are, we can somehow, if we all like get together, we can get recognition from people overseas and get South Africa on the map.
Yeah.
So I just want to get players who can bring something and try just work towards that as our like main goal.
All right, good answer there for you. And then question number 3 coming in from Tino. Do you believe you will be able to change or improve the negative view the ZA community has on you? Why do you guys think it came about this in the first place? We already spoke about that, but the first message from this guy says, do you believe you will be able to change or improve the negative view on Cosign?
I think how people got the negative view of Cosign, in my opinion, is if you check like the Cosign team page or when people upload a clip, they all think Cosign is just like creative clips.
Yeah.
But I don't know how we're gonna change it because I don't know actually.
I think that it's actually already changed. I don't know if you guys been experiencing a lot of in the past like 2 weeks.
Nah, I can't say that I've had hate, but I feel like if we constantly keep proving to them how good we are, like we're not just a joke, that they will actually get around us and be like, okay, no, this is actually a competitive team in the community, and
Yeah.
then from there on we can just keep going about things
the right way, and obviously trying to get social media to calm down, not by saying anything. And I just think a lot of people make the mistake to reply to the negative stuff. The negative stuff shouldn't even be looked past it. You don't see top organization overseas going and replying on a toxic tweet saying blah 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 blah. They just focus on the positive and work on that, and I think that's a lot of people that should take that into account. But question number 4 again from Bojo, thoughts on the edit on release. And now this is one of the things we have not spoken about in season 11 that we spoke about earlier. But what's your guys' opinion now that you can edit on the release?
Me
So-
I don't
personally,
use it.
I hate it. Me personally, I
Yeah.
hate it.
Well,
Same.
I would think that you would like it. Controller, you only have limited buttons to press. Now it's quicker for you to get through your edit.
It isn't quicker. That's the thing.
Yeah,
Isn't it?
there's like a 50 millisecond delay between it. Like you would think it's faster, but
Yeah.
actually when you release, like say on keyboard and mouse, when you release the mouse, there's a small delay, which is basically the same as you. Like say my edit bind is G, it's the same as me pressing G twice to edit. So it's kind of the.
For
doesn't
me,
matter.
my binds are circle. I mean, I confirm a circle. So if I click circle, then it automatically brings out my switch mode as well. So I have 2 binds. So I have confirm a circle and switch for build mode. And another thing is, let's say I'm in a 1x1 box and I want to edit a 3, like, just to like peek where the guy is. And if I just let go of my R, it automatically opens it. Where if I have confirm, I can just edit it and then click confirm when I want to.
All right. So a lot of mixed emotions on that edit at release. I think it takes definitely a long while to get used to, but I think it's another thing that someone can use and maybe get good at. But we're now getting to the last segment of the FortcastZA, and that is the Storm Search questions. This episode we don't have the who tweeted that, but now we move straight in to the Storm Search questions, the last segment of our stream with Cosign. And the first question again to people, actually let's explain this to people that aren't or that is new to the Fortcast. The Storm Search works basically what the game does to you. If you don't have enough damage on people, you get shocked and almost die. I don't think you'll die with the Storm Search we're doing, but you'll definitely get shocked by some people that will be replying on what you say right here. But again, I did tell Cosign before the time, it's rather better to be honest and open on your thoughts and who do you think on answering the questions to the best of your ability. But the first question then to everyone's going to be answering this, and we're going to work our way down. HighPing, Syco, Drax, and Bot. So that is the way we will go through things. The first question is then to HighPing, and obviously we'll go down there. Who is the best player in Cosign?
Ooh, that is so tough. Yeah. Drax is laughing there.
You have to answer, unfortunately.
Yeah, I got you. Let's think. I'm gonna have to. Drax is smiling. I'm gonna say Drax.
Okay.
He can do everything. He's got creative under his belt. His mechanics are good. He's proved himself in comp. He's won the 80K, and he has a lot of potential. So yeah.
Right. Syco?
Are we talking like best in tournaments?
Yeah,
or
you can't
like
say
best
yourself though.
No, but I'm saying tournaments or best like in general,
No,
like
I
everything.
don't care. You tell me who the best is in Cosign.
I'll probably go with DellasZA and Bot.
Oh, you have two. Okay.
Oh, Bot.
Drax?
So I think Cosign, like our comp players, me, Syco, and Bot, which was like the main of us, and Lag as well. I think, and Savage, sorry, if I'm leaving people out. But I think like we all similar, like we all like really good in certain ways. If you understand what I'm saying, like certain things about us just make us like better than other things. But right now, I'll probably say Savage because I've been playing a lot with him. So yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I just
Bot?
see a lot of people spamming. Can I just say something quick?
Yeah, you
I
go.
actually think
Bot's first say thing.
player Cosign is Cosmol, aka aka Coslag, because I mean no one knows him. Like I actually don't think anyone knows Coslag. He's in the cap, but he doesn't play in tournaments. And I know he can do well. Box fights, he destroys me. 1v1s, he destroys me. Zone Wars, I think I'm better than him in Zone Wars. He's kind of a bot in Zone Wars.
Right.
But that's because he doesn't play tournaments. But yeah, he has like a lot of potential. So we'll see.
Yeah, I just wanted to say that. Yeah, everyone in the chat,
And
obviously, Syco has proved himself. That's the thing.
Yeah.
This is why I'm not going to say Syco, because Syco's already got the recognition he deserves.
Yeah.
People know that he's good at comp.
Yeah,
So
if you asked
everyone's
me,
saying,
I would
oh,
have obviously said Syco.
Yeah,
just
said
because he
Syco.
plays
Yeah,
with
Syco has proved himself. But the thing is, no one knows these players that we're talking about. So we want to let people know that they are good. Syco's cracked.
Yeah, just getting back to this. Obviously, you want to give your idea on why you're picking that specific person. But I don't want you to say this is why I picked him. Just say a name, and we'll move on. Unless you have another hour to speak about all the the Storm Search questions. So let's keep it straight and simple, and let's get into these things. I also see PVD Lithium has joined us, so we have some of the Call of Duty guys in here. And just to answer you quickly, Mr. Lithium, yes, I did co-sign with Tint Formula, so here's a beautiful way of saying it. Question number 2. Let's get through this. Who is a free pot in the community? In our community, who's the 50 pot?
Mystify.
Oh, that's toxic.
Syco?
Yo,
Yeah. I'll say Yo Yeet.
Drax?
I'm gonna go with Clouds.
Bot?
I'm gonna have to go with 350 pots, probably Maka.
Alright.
Yo, Maka plays Claw.
Alright. Next question. Who don't you want to run into in a tournament match? Who's that one guy you want to avoid?
Any Cape Town player.
No, I need names.
Wait, can you repeat the question?
Who don't you want to run into in a tournament? Who's the one guy you try and avoid?
Neymar, easy.
Alright, Syco?
100, yeah.
I'd say probably Fresh.
Drax?
Neymar 100%. That guy's aim is too good.
Bot?
I said Neymar already, I think. Yeah.
Ping,
yeah.
what did you say?
I haven't said on. I've never got O2'd by Neymar. So I'm gonna go with Cos Savage. If anyone knows who he is.
Okay. And then question 4 is, name one player that you think should be picked up by a big organization. Big, and obviously inverted commas, a top org. Who do you guys think should be picked up by a top org?
Scully.
I would say Chase probably. Now that he's like not in EGS says anything anymore. Say Chase.
Yeah.
Drax, you agree? Someone else?
I also agree with Chase, but I feel like Letzler and Work, they're both very good players. Yeah.
Forgetting about George also.
Syco and you?
I'd say George and Saint Nate.
Oh yeah, and Saint Nate.
Yeah, I think that's also a good options there. Question 5 is more of a juicy one. Who in the community has the biggest ego? Who has the biggest ego in the community? Ping, we'll start with you again.
Come on, Drax. Say it, Drax.
No, I'll let you go first, Danny.
Can we say multiple people, only one?
Let's stick with one. I don't want 20 people to be in your DMs.
Okay, my boy Clouds.
Clouds, Syco.
Luka Rakic can't do 90s.
Ooh, Drax.
Oh no. I'm gonna go with Clouds as well.
All right, Bot.
I'm gonna have to go with Trash Panda. He's actually garbage at the game. He has such a big. He's so bad. He's actually so bad. I should have said him for the 350 bot. Like holy shit.
Yeah. All right. Okay, we're gonna leave it there. Okay, if the community had to send one player overseas to rep South Africa, who would you send?
Trogons.
Yeah, Trogons.
Smartest player out there.
Drax?
I agree with Trogon.
Sure.
Probably Trogons or Neymar, just because he's really talented. But I think Trogons will be a better answer.
HighPing?
I'll go with Trogons also. I don't know. There are too many good players for Trogons.
Oh, the ex-EN player representing her is actually 80k now, but Trogons it is. Question number 7. We have 3 left after this. Is who in the community is the biggest creative warrior?
That's kind
of obvious.
Yeah, there's only one answer.
Okay, who's this answer?
CosLazarus.
Yep.
He's insane, and he's never played one game of comp.
Actually, who's another creative?
There's no answer.
Cousin.
Kaizen. No one knows Kaizen. Yo, you guys. He's good.
Yeah, Kaizen.
All right, we'll move along. 3 left. And who, in your opinion, is the best mechanical player in ZA?
Ooh. Sure.
Ooh.
Probably go Riots. I mean, not Riots, Rise, sorry.
Rise. All right.
Ross.
Yeah. I'm gonna say bot. Bot has nice mechanics. I'm gonna be
Yeah,
honest.
bot is kind of nice with it.
He's kind of
Um,
nice with it.
I don't know. There's so many like really good mechanically good players, but I'm gonna probably go with someone who I've been running into often is Jay's.
Jeez, right, bot. And you've been quiet. And you've been thinking.
Sure, Vasi, I have no clue. I'm gonna have to go with lag, I think. Yeah.
Lag.
Yeah.
All right, I've never heard of
He's
him.
his
But...
duo partner.
Oh, he's a
Cosign
duo
lag.
bot.
Cosign lag.
Cosign
Yeah,
Mo,
yeah,
Cosign
yeah,
Mo.
Ah,
Yeah.
okay, all right. Next question is then, all right, who do you think won't do well this season with almost zero mobility? Who do you think relies on that mobility? Who do you think is that one player that's not going to do as well?
Sure.
Bean.
All right, Ian?
Sure. It's actually a tough question.
Pop cool.
Oh, that's fact. That's facts.
I'm gonna go
Fact,
with Ian also.
I think you took Drax's idea there.
I'm gonna go with Riots.
All right,
You're
HighPing.
right.
Yeah, I said I'll go with Bean too.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. The last one is one of the most difficult ones, and this is one of the questions that I've been asking in almost every single podcast that we have done so far, and that is ranking the following players from best to worst. You have 4 options. They are Riots, Fresh, Zozu, and Zach. Okay, that's your 4 options
Right.
from
Wait,
best
repeat.
to
Riots.
worst. Riots, Fresh, Zozu, and Zach. That's your 4 options. In the chat, you guys can let me know your obviously your options as well. From best to worst, go for it. Ping, I'm putting you up first on the spot.
Yeah. Even though I don't really like Riots, I'm gonna have to go with Riots first, then Fresh. And I haven't seen Sozo and Zach. Like, obviously they play some tournaments, so I've never actually seen them play. So like, I'm gonna go with Sozo then Zach.
All right, Syco.
I'll go Fresh, Riot, Zach, Zozu.
All right, Drax.
I would go Riots, Fresh, Zach Sozu.
All
I
right.
have to go Zozy on top, then Riots, then Fresh, then Zach. But I don't think Zach's been playing in that many tournaments lately though, so that's probably why he's at the
Right, Nathan. You said Riot's best player, but you then also told me the previous answer was who is not going to do well with zero mobility. So
Well, the reason I said that because in the tournament today he was complaining about people not rotating, like they were just trying to W key. So I mean, if he wanted to W key, he could have, but then that's what brought my thought to mind.
So from best to worst, Riot's best, Fresh. All right, and you say what was your lineup?
Hey, Drax.
Drax, what was your lineup again?
Riots, Fresh, Zach Sozu.
All right. Okay,
Yeah,
that is the community questions. I hope you guys got out of this with not too many people in your DMs. It wasn't too bad. I don't think you guys answered too bad. A lot of back and forth on some, like the community questions on, the one question of being the biggest ego. So a lot of things going back and forth, and it's always nice to hear people's different opinions on it. And just before we go out, we've been alive for an hour and 40 minutes now. So again, thank you for everyone that has stopped by. But just before we go, again to Tin Formula, one of the guys that I've teamed up with. They are the main sponsor for the Fortcast and the Codcast, and my personal sponsor. And they're basically just like G Fuel in overseas, and we can't get G Fuel here, so we started our own product, and that is Tin Formula, and here is one of their original flavors. Alright, as we can can see there. And again, to everyone that has donated into the stream, as you can see your bottom right hand side corner, we are grinding for that new scuff controller. And a big thanks goes out to Chubsy again for that $50 donation earlier in the stream. We had Enlight earlier dropping some bits. Obviously not towards the new controller, as bits doesn't count obviously, but a thanks to him as well. And then we got Mystify with the $1 donation as well. So thank you again to everyone joining into the stream. Appreciate you all. Cosign to you guys, HighPing, Syco, Drax and Bot. Thank you for joining me on the Fortcast. I did cause you a bit of an upset moving it to this weekend and not previous weekend. But again, thank you for you guys for joining us, and for everyone in the stream, you guys as well for sticking by and giving us some of your opinions in the chat. Sometimes they get toxic, but it's always nice reading. Again, thank you very much. And to Cosign, I'll check you guys next time, and hopefully we see you guys in the top rankings again for placements. And yeah, guys, thank you very much.
Cheers.
Thank you so much.
Appreciate it.
All right, thank you guys. Check you guys next time. Cheers.
Cheers.